So, Cuda family, this is a little tutorial, and I have it on the website. It's adiojewelers.com, and it's under resources. So you can view it at your leisure, or you can follow along here. But to give you the short version of it this is what we're trying to do when we're cutting a stone. We're trying to get as much weight as possible from the crystal. Okay? We cut like a butcher tries to cut finer pieces of beef. So this might be a little 7-ounce petite filet mignon, and this might be a 12-ounce sirloin. Why? Because this is heavier, but it might not have as much scintillation. As you can see, there's some leakage here. The stone is spreadier. What we want is a nice, bright, vivid, scintillating, sparkly stone. And this is what we get when we have a good cutting arrangement. Okay? Now, the other things that are important, this is illustrating fire here. So, yes, this is what we're trying to do. Here's your two. I'm going to show you how clarity affects the stones, because here's your clarity chart. Flawless, internally flawless, VVS 1 and 2 are the gem qualities. Your VS1, VS2, SI1, SI2 is down the middle, down the middle. I wouldn't be too concerned about an SI, because there's different types of inclusions. There's crystals and twinning wisps, indented naturals, fractures, feathers. There's some external characteristics as well, but when we see them, they can either be in the center, which we don't want, or they could be off to the side strategically. And then we're going to set prongs on these stones, right? So as long as they're set, as long as they're placed strategically, we're in good shape. But that takes going over a number of stones. For every one that I select, there might be 3 or 4 that I didn't like, okay? This is showing how a diamond is deep and you get leakage. So this stone could be maybe a carat and 90, but it might look the same as a carat and 50. So there's optics here. We're not talking about weight as much as we're talking about the millimeter size of the stone. And we'll get into that a little bit later with comparisons. This is where the stone is very, very spready. It's not overly deep. As a matter of fact, it's a little bit on the shallow side. Now, some of these things apply to rounds, but they also apply to other cuts. Color is very difficult to comprehend because there's a lot of optics involved. Diamonds are greater for color table down, not face up. So D, E, and F is colorless. GH is near colorless. I, J, K, and so on, we go down further. Now, when you're using yellow gold, we can go into this JKL range in here, because if you put something that's with a little bit of color into a white box, you're going to see the color differential. If you take something that's, if you took a little yellow crystal ashtray and you put it into a box of yellow, it's going to look whiter because there's just a tint of yellow, if that makes any sense. And, And we'll see that when we put these stones into the settings. So we have the clarity features, color, carat weight, and the clarity and carat weight and the cut of the diamond. Thank you. So without further ado, let's take a look at some of these, okay? All right. So now I went through, I have a little worksheet, and I was looking for stones for you, so we have a little worksheet here of comparisons, what I liked, didn't like. Some of them were sold. But then I came up with these, and I'd like to show them to you. They're all GIA certified, and I'm not just focusing on the weight, but I'm focusing on the millimeter spread. Okay, and I'll show you that on a worksheet. Now, you look at a stone like this and you say, wow, I don't think I want to see that. But remember that this is just a plotting diagram. This is one of my favorite type of stones because this is a twinning wisp. And twinning wisps are invisible, but you have to plot them this way. I know, it's a little confusing, but it's one of my favorite type of stones. I'll show you. I'll give you an example. Now, let's see if I'm going to focus here. But this is a beautiful stone. Let me see. I'm going to try another one. Stone holder. Okay. You might see the back of the stone a little bit, the stone holder. See the little prongs. But this is a beautiful stone. You don't see, where's my paper tray? You don't see these twinning wisps, I promise you. And this is a J color. It's almost like if you saw smoke in a room, you think it's there, but you don't know it's there. But it's not like one big angry fracture. It's nothing like that. You don't see it at all. At all. It's a great bang for the buck. Okay, that's the 171. And we have another carat in 71 here. This is a K SI1. So it's one drop lower. We're going to put these together. And let's see if we can get this light on here any better. It's another beautiful stone. And this has some minor pinpoints, but you're not going to see them with the unaided eye. This only has a 67% depth percentage. This one has 61. Let me show you that. So, here we have on the left, we have the JSI1. Now, this is 8400 on the left. The one on the right is a KSI1, carat and 71, and it's 7300 because of the drop down in the color. But very nice length to width. Very nice length to width ratio. Okay. And we have another carat and 51. This is a little bit better on both counts. It's an IVS2. It's an IVS2, and this was 8300. So this is if you were in the one price range and you wanted to go in better qualities. Okay. So this is an IVS1. And as you can see, the inclusions are on the back pavilion side and they're microscopic. So, carat 51 And as you can see, these are 171, and they're pretty spready. And I'll show you something, because I have a 2 carat and 21, but these stones look pretty darn nice for the money and the size. I'll show you. The length-width ratios are lovely. Get that all brighter. The little grip is showing through, but it's still beautiful. We have some settings here. I have a 2 carat and 20, 2 carat 27 actually. And I wanted to show you, this is an HVBS too. This is, it's, you know, a little bit pricey, but I wanted to show you something here. There's a 2 carat and 20, and here's a 171, 171, 150. So these 171s look pretty darn good. Okay. Here's the now the box heads for these settings. We have to make a head for them. So I can tell you, I could text you the website to go to and see what it'll look like. But here's a simple setting, which would be about 500 to 900 depending. See, it's got to come all the way down. That's got to drop all the way down, but we have to have the crown to match. You got to pardon me. I have a fractured hand, so I had surgery, and so sometimes things drop. But there you have it. It's not a bad size stone, carat 71. That's one. And for a K, this is very, very bright. Here's another type of setting, just plain. If you go to GabrielNY.com, it's not going to work. If you go to GabrielNY.com, you'll see a number of settings when you put in, see, there's one. We have several. Here's another, very clean. This is another type. It's what they call a peg head, so the wedding band goes right up against it. This is a hidden halo with the peg head. But if you just go straight classic, there's a few others that are lovely. You can do something like this, but we have to get the right head. I don't know if you want to have any side diamonds. You're going pretty slim these days with no side stones. But GabrielNY.com, and then you can filter emerald cuts. And you see? Very elegant. Then drops down and we cut into the prongs and set it up. But it's got a contour around the center diamond. So here's the rundown again, just to show you. We have the 171 J. Then we have the 171K and the 151 here. The J looks a little bit bigger because it's wider, and the up here, this is what I was looking at, the pricing of the stones and the measurements. So here you have, now that 2 carat was 9 by 6 millimeters. These two stones are 8.2. This 171, that's a J, that's 8400. This is 8.5 by 5.7. Has a 1.5 to 1 ratio. It's a nice stone. But let me know your thoughts, which way you want to go. Price-wise, the other carat and 71 is a heck of a value because there's no real darkness about it at all for 7,300. And there's the 151. Better quality, but you don't see that when you're wearing it, okay? You need a microscope. So let me know your thoughts. Go to the website, the www.gabrielny.com, and filter in some of the engagement rings. You'll see them. Don't go by the prices. We do a little bit better than that. And talk soon.